Mr Speaker, I'm happy to take what appears to be what's going to be a short call on this New Zealand business number bill, and I have to say, as I do so, I have some interest in this because there are 1.1 million New Zealand companies who have been allocated a New Zealand business number. Only about half of those are active. The company which I am a director of, which has been allocated one of those numbers, falls into the other category, which is those companies that are not active and not currently trading. But I will potentially benefit from this because one of the things that I have to do as the director of a non-trading company is do a return every year. And of course, you have to go online to do your return. And of course, whenever I went to go online, I could never remember what my login was and never remember what my password was. And so one of the first things the government did was that they gave me a new log-on, another log-on and another password. And now I can't remember what those are either. But this is one of the problems with the government when businesses want to interact with them. They get another log-on and another password and another number. And so this, of course, is something that maybe has some promise. The idea that you would have a single number for interactions with the government. Who could possibly object to that? Except it's going to be another number in addition to all of the numbers that they've already got, which begs the question why we couldn't just use one of the many, many numbers they already have. They already have a company number or an IRD number. You can go through them and count them all. There are plenty of other numbers they have which could have been used to be the single business number that a company could use to interact with the government. And it seems to me a bit crazy that the idea is that we're going to solve this problem by creating another system seems a little bit crazy, a little bit mad, and something that we should certainly do something about. There are many businesses around the country that are small businesses. They're operated by one or two people. They are typically, as at least several other parliamentary colleagues have spoken about this afternoon, operated out of a kitchen or a van or a garage somewhere. These are people who don't have administrators working for them. They're people who administer their own businesses, and government should be doing all it can to make that process for them as streamlined and as simple as possible. Now, a single kind of point of contact would be a good start. A single number is also a welcome opportunity, but there is so much more that can be done to reduce the compliance costs for small business, which I'm not sure that the government have necessarily got on top of all of those. There's a big issues around tax, for example. I think that would have a far bigger impact for small business, provisional tax in particular, than the adoption of the single business number proposal, which, whilst welcome, probably isn't necessarily going to make a significant difference in the way that some of the other reforms the government could take to reduce the compliance costs that New Zealand businesses face would actually make. The Labour Party is going to be supporting this bill through the next stages with some reservations, and my colleagues will set those out in due course when we get to the committee stage of the debate, because I'm sure that there will be some amendments on the table when it comes time to go through those in detail.
I regret interrupting the member. The debate is interrupted and set down for resumption next sitting day. The House stands adjourned until 2 p.m. on Tuesday, the 8th of March 2016.